Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Class Business Podcast. I'm really excited today because we have the amazing Tracey Taylor joining us for a conversation where we're going to be talking about her one-to-many journey through the Lisa Johnson program. So before we dive into this whole conversation, Tracey, tell everyone who you are, what do you do, and where do you do it?
Hi, Chrissy. My name's Tracey. So I am owner of Ride on Time. We are a business that's dedicated to ride on toys. So we do play sessions, party hire, and we specialise in early years road safety. So we go into preschools and nurseries and teach early years children road awareness and how to keep safe by a road. So we're based in Oxfordshire. But we also have franchisees that are covering Cotswolds, Cheltenham, a little bit of Gloucestershire and Lincolnshire. So we're sort of gradually growing. So, yeah.
You're doing amazing. So basically, you started the business. Talk us through, where did the business idea come from? Like, how did it get started? Like, what was the concept?
I've got two boys who are now 14 and 16, but when they were younger, they were just obsessed with anything that moved with wheels. We'd go to playgroups and there'd be one little Tykes car and it was always a trauma. They'd always not share it or, guard it. And I thought to myself then, God, if there was just a room full of ride-ons, they'd be so happy. And that's where the concept came from. I sort of sat with the idea and then actually sat with my husband and said, I've had this idea. And we kind of mapped out a bit of an idea and would this work, because there was literally nobody else doing it at that point. So we didn't have a template or anyone else to look at. We just sort of thought, and slightly crazy, but we went for it and started a business together. And it just instantly took off. It was, right from the start, it was always much loved. And then we started to get party inquiries from all over the country, which obviously we couldn't do. And that's what led us down the franchising route, because we realised that there was the demand and what we did could be, set up as a really strong business model. So, yeah, that's how we went down the franchising route.
So what did you do before you decided to start this business?
I was in customer services. So I worked for TripAdvisor and a holiday website. And my husband worked in the bank. So no background.
Just obviously you were, did you quit your job or you were on maternity
I'd
leave?
had my third child and I was due to go back from maternity leave, and the reality of paying childcare for three children was, I would have been essentially working for free. So that was another drive to kind of come up with a plan that, I just was I wanted something a bit more, I'd done the whole working nearly full time and stretching myself in all directions, and it just didn't work for me. So I wanted something where I could get family balance, be around for the kids, work for myself. So that's kind of where it came from. And Justin got made redundant. So it all came together at the right time. And we decided to go for it. It was a bit mad, really, but
so you both work on the business right now?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So we have our very definite roles within the business, but I'm sort of like the face of it, and I do all the marketing and then all the advertising and public facing stuff, and Justin is he does a lot of the deliveries. He's the finance guy. So yeah, we've got our designated roles.
Oh, that's so cool that you've got that you're working on it together. And obviously you then decided to franchise the business because of demand was coming in for party inquiries, etc. And how many people have we got in the team now?
So I've got two franchisees, and then I've got another lady that locally that helps me deliver the road safety workshops. So we're gradually sort of growing in ranks, and it's really lovely bringing people on board and having new ideas and new energy. So that's been really exciting.
So you started off delivering community sessions, so just out in the village halls, etc. Then you added on birthday parties. Where did the road safety workshops come from? Like, how did that start?
I was just watching, when you're with toddlers and children every day and you're watching them play, I realised that within the sessions, because we have pedestrian crossing and traffic lights and all of those things, they were actually learning through play about roads and just building up that general awareness and learning about the world around them. And I started doing research and realised that there wasn't any provision at all for early years road safety. And really, there's none. They don't really get taught anything until they do their bikeability at year 5, which it's a vital life skill. They need, and it's the earlier you get the messaging in. And I know as a parent, I found it quite daunting. I had 2 very energetic boys who were very competitive, and we'd go out on bikes and scooters and it was quite stressful. So, I'd been there as a parent in terms of being a bit nervous about my children's behaviour by roads, and felt a bit daunted how to actually get the message across. So that's where it was born from. And then over the years, I gradually developed the workshops and started approaching schools and going in and developing the workshop further, so that it really, really was, by the end of it, I was like, this is a really solid program here. And then last year we got the funding from our county council, so we were able to take it further, and we've now created the Safe Little Steps program. So that also includes like a parent online course as well, so we can talk with the children, and then from the parents' point of view, give them lots of tips and advice on how to do it in a fun way and how to engage them, so it's not just shouting instructions like we all tend to do. So yeah, we've really, really developed the program now to something we're really proud of.
All right, it sounds amazing. So just out of that community session concept has grown like a whole road safety program that's been rolled out across schools. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it, really. And it's, the feedback from educators and parents and children has been really, really good. And because of the impact of the work we did last year, we've secured funding again for this year, but in a much bigger area. So we're going to be able to reach even more children this year. So it's fantastic.
Oh, that is really, really cool. And so obviously you've been in my world for a while, because I know we talked about franchising and recruitment and how to build your team. And you must have seen that I was promoting the Race to Recurring Revenue Challenge, which is the 4-day event with Lisa Johnson. What sparked your interest about just registering for that free event initially?
So, I've been dipping in and out of courses that you've been running and circling around a bit, but this was the one that kind of really got my attention, because I wanted to elevate my business even more, and I also wanted to offer my franchisees more revenue streams, basically. And so the idea of being able to create revenue streams that are a little bit more passive, that were easy to roll out to my franchisees, that was quite appealing as well. So I think that was my initial reason why it sort of sparked my interest. And then when I looked at it further, it just sounded quite exciting, really. And I was at that stage in the business where, I've been doing it with just myself and my husband for 8 years, and it was quite nice to have the thought that, well, I might be able to be part of something that could inspire me a bit. So that was the reason.
We had the Chrissy Crew WhatsApp group where all the providers are, and we can bounce ideas. Can you remember in the actual challenge event, the 4-day event, did you have an idea then what you wanted to focus on, or did you just have loads of ideas?
I knew I wanted to focus on the road safety and develop and evolve that side of the business, but I didn't have any specific ideas. It just, was the element of the business that I wanted to develop, because I've obviously got parties, place, I've got lots of different elements, but that was the side of the business that I really wanted to evolve. And it wasn't until I started doing the Race to Recurring Revenue that I started to go, okay. And then a few ideas popped into my head. And that idea of just actually realizing just how knowledgeable I was about it. It's that being that you're the expert in the room. And I realized, do you know what? I actually do know a lot about this, and I've done a lot of research, and actually I could really share that more. So that was, then I really was like, this is going to be good.
All right. And then when the one-to-many program doors opened, you joined us, and so the one-to-many program is a 12-week program, so it's quite a big commitment, I would say, for business owners. What made you sign up to the program? What did you think, right, I'm going to go from challenge, I've got an idea, and I'm going to go and implement it into my business?
I just thought it was too good an opportunity to miss. It had just come at the right time. I think that was, key. It had come at the right time. I had the time to commit to it. And I could see the potential of where it could take me. So I think that's what made I mulled it over for a bit, and then I just decided to go for it. So I just thought this could be really, really take us into a whole other direction, which was my goal, basically.
And over the 12 weeks, they cover a lot. Like Lisa covers like building an audience, lead magnets, Facebook ads. Like there's a lot of training, isn't there? There's a lot of information, knowledge that you can take. Which bits did you tackle first? Like, were you like, right, I know my idea, now I've got to get the lead magnet built?
Yeah, it was thinking, okay, so I've got this knowledge. What's the best way to put that into a product, get that across to people, and how will I put that as a lead magnet? So it was creating the idea and forming the idea, and then working out how I was going to present it. That was the first sort of challenge, and I found that I love doing that because I'm quite creative. So I loved putting all that together. I actually realised that I had an asset that I'd created like 3 years ago, which was a I Spy trail that I could potentially use as my freebie from my lead magnet. So I already had something that I could use. And so I took it from that really, and I worked out my lead magnet from something I already had in my in my files, basically.
I know. Well, I would say like most businesses probably have a lead magnet sitting there that they don't know. And for anyone that's watching this and wondering what a lead magnet is, it's like a freebie that you use to bring people into your world. It can be like a PDF, a little wee video, like a little colouring sheet. Like it doesn't matter. It's just an exchange for an email address. And basically, you use it to grow your audience as such. So obviously you did your lead magnet, got it live, got it out there.
Yeah. It was, I think it's taken a little while to tinker with it, in all honesty, because it's a learning curve. And so just working out, okay, has that worked? Hasn't that worked? And I'm still playing around with it, but I'm monitoring and tracking, which you can do, which ones are successful. But it's just, I've got the confidence. There's absolutely no way I would have had the confidence to do this before. I just didn't have the know-how and the knowledge to put it all together and put it out there. I just wouldn't have known where to start. So it's given me that knowledge.
That's one of the reasons I love partnering up on this program, because at the end of the day, I could teach all of that. Like I know how to do it because I've done it myself many, many times, but it's not really what I want to be doing. It's not where I think my forte is. Whereas Lisa Johnson's program just gives everybody the steps to walk through with the support as well to actually make it happen. And I think obviously that's what she teaches. That's what she specializes in. And so it makes sense that for us to like partner up so you can access all that information. And then obviously the accountability came from like the WhatsApp group to make sure everyone was keeping on task. And like, yeah, totally. Everyone I've spoken to about doing the one-to-many program, it's definitely not a quick win. It's no one goes into this
No,
thing and makes money straight
it's not an
away.
instant
Yeah.
success. I'll be honest about that. But and I still feel like I'm working on it, I'm evolving it. This is a long-term thing I'm going to be using for years and years and years. And this was just my first idea. And there are lots, I didn't just come up with one idea. There's lots, there were things I rejected along the way, but they still have potential. So, and actually I've just applied it to the franchise and the parties. So I've done exactly the same process that I did for the road safety, and I put it into place for those two elements of my business as well. So I'm using it long term. It's very much a system that you can use and apply to every aspect of your business, for years
For
to come.
sure. Yeah, for sure. And also it's having that like you're building an asset, and that's the way I look at things. Like I've got an asset that I built for like my one-to-many journey. Basically, it's my pension. So that's the pension money. And so it's just something that's like happening in the background. It's not like my whole business model. That's something that I know like it's going to be passive, semi-passive, and I just need to like market it and advertise it. And I suppose that's what everyone who comes into the program either uses the information and implements it into their business so they understand the process. Then they can afterwards go, okay, I can now go away and develop other assets. Or they have come in and just created a whole new business. Like if you look at people like Elaine, who launched a whole new
Yes.
business off the back of it,
Yes.
Fatima, who launched a whole new business off the back of it. So I think, yeah, people come in and use the course, the program in different ways, don't they, basically?
Yeah. I think if somebody's wanting to use it as a starting point, it's a brilliant way to formulate your ideas and put it all together. But like myself, I had an existing business and I had, ideas that I wanted to use within my business and move it forward and make it bigger. And so that's and reach my audience more. That taught me more finesse, I suppose, in that field of just how to reach my audience better and in a better way. So it was more successful.
Yeah, for sure. And how did you feel about the Chrissy's Crew WhatsApp group? Like, because we usually have that running through the length of the program. How valuable was that to you?
I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. I mean, as I said, it had just been me and my husband for 8 years, and I'd done a couple of meetups with yourself and met a few other children's activity providers, but this was the first time I'd been in a bigger group of pure children's activity providers, and it was just wonderful. It was so supportive. It was just really, really great to just hear what other people were doing. I found it really inspiring, all these people that have, taken on new businesses or running up their own businesses. It was a very creative atmosphere as well. It was lovely.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, isn't it? When you get a group of people that are all striving for the same things, that's when you get the magic and everyone's like cheering each other on. And
It
there
was
was
very
definitely
much so.
people, yeah, that were having like wobbles or even just had a bit of a doubt, like we're having a tough time personally at home, like, a situation, a change. And they would share that in the group. And I just remember everyone going, it's okay. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay.
We all
Like,
had moments of self-doubt and that we were like, in over our head, or we were just like, oh, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but it was quite a safe place to be able to say that, really. It was really, really nice.
yeah, it's a good vibe. I would say
It
it's definitely
was.
a good vibe.
It was.
And the
I've
group's still going. Like they're all still
Yeah, we chip in every now and then, don't we? Yeah, and I'm looking forward, to eventually meeting, because I missed out on the day where you all met up in November, but I would really, really like to
Yeah,
eventually
that was
get
a
to
really
meet.
good day because that was a day where
Yeah.
everyone came together and you could put like names like to actual faces and stuff.
Yes.
So for anyone who's watching this video and thinking about joining the one to many program, but they're not sure A, if it's for them, B, are they capable of doing the work, and C, are they going to get results? What would you say to them?
I would say that we all have that self-doubt, but actually, once you do this program, it does make you realize, in your field, you're probably really good at what you do, but we all doubt that. So don't doubt yourself in that way. But certainly, I mean, the weekly meetings and everything, they were really, really good to be live, but there is the flexibility. And once you're in, you have access to all the modules, so you can make it.
You and your business journey, and how the one-to-many program has impacted your business, how it's helped you, and how you're now looking to use it to future-proof your business going forward. If you are thinking about joining the one-to-many program, the doors are open right now. And if you need to ask any specific questions, then please feel free to get in touch with Tracey. If you need to speak to a member of Lisa's team, they're taking calls. And yeah, basically, we are going to have Chrissy's crew again. There's going to be a WhatsApp group to support people through, and I'll be there to cheerlead you on along with everyone else. But thank you so much for your time today, Tracey.
Pleasure. Very, very nice to speak to you.